Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Newton Silas, and today I have a very interesting video to react to. It's actually Brigitte Gabriel falsifying Islamic history. Whoa, okay. I believe this is gonna be a very interesting video. So guys, if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get down to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion. This is basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this video, we all are going to learn from this. So guys, let's get down to this video and check it out.
Brigitte Gabriel is a bigot anti-Islamist, and the founder of an anti-Muslim hate group, Act for America. She does not have any real expertise, and when she is actually challenged by a real expert, she yells and screams to justify her lies.
The Treaty of Hudaybiyyah, which is an Islamic principle of war and a model on how to deceive your enemy when you have to sign peace treaties with your enemy. And it is based on an example by Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was attacking the Meccans and their caravans when he was living in Medina. One day he attacked them because this is how he got the goodies. He would attack them, rob them, and spread the goodies among his men. And this is how he was able to recruit, because this is how people made money without working. And so he attacked the Meccan caravans. When he realized he's not able to defeat the Meccans in that city of Al-Hudaybiyyah, in that place, he signed a 10-year treaty with them. He broke the treaty, attacked them 2 years later, and Mecca fell within 24 hours because they were not expecting the attack. And that became a principle of war in Islam.
Who is Karen Armstrong? Karen Armstrong is the author of numerous books on religion. Her work has been translated into 45 languages. She has addressed members of the U.S. Congress on 3 occasions, lectured to policymakers at the U.S. State Department. She addressed the Council on Foreign Relations in Washington and New York, and is now an ambassador for the UN Alliance of Civilizations. In 2008 she was awarded the TED Prize. Also in 2008, she was awarded the Franklin D. Roosevelt for Freedom's Medal. Let's listen from Karen Armstrong, the truth, what really happened in the Hudaybiyyah Treaty, and how was Mecca conquered by Muslims.
The Quran insists that Muhammad was fighting a war of self-defense. Mecca, the powerful city of Mecca, was attacking the Muslim community, and had the Meccans prevailed, according to the customs of pre-Islamic Arabia, they would have slaughtered all the men and sold the women and children into slavery. Now, the Muslim community was fighting for survival. But as always happens in warfare, as we found in our own day, warfare has its own awful dynamic, and atrocities are committed on all sides. And that, in the end, I think, pushed Muhammad to initiate a peaceful, non-violent riposte. When the tide was just beginning in Arabia as a whole, though not in Medina, where he had a great deal of opposition, he announced to his followers that he wanted to make the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. Now, on the Hajj, as you know, you may not carry any weapons. You may not fight. You may not even kill an insect or speak a cross word. Now, so for Muslims in the height of this lethal war with Mecca, to ride unarmed into the holy city of Mecca was going unarmed into the lion's den. Nevertheless, 1,000 Muslims from Medina volunteered to go on this highly dangerous campaign. And they arrived in, and the Meccans, when they heard they were coming, sent their cavalry out to kill the pilgrims. But with the help of some friendly local Bedouin, Muhammad managed to elude them and get into the sanctuary of Mecca where all violence was forbidden, and then he sat down. It was a demonstration, what in the 60s we used to call a sit-in. And he basically, the eyes of Arabia were on him. He knew he was brilliant man, and he knew that he was putting the Meccans on the spot, because if they slaughtered peaceful pilgrims who were punctiliously pursuing the rites and denying them the right of every Arab to perform the rites of the Hajj at the Kaaba, they would have violated the sanctities that they had been fighting for, and would have lost enormous prestige. They were the guardians of the Kaaba, so they negotiated. And Muhammad accepted terms, as the Quran says Muslims must do, that seemed utterly appalling to his followers, because it seemed to give everything away to Mecca, everything that they fought for. And yet, nevertheless, and they almost mutinied, the pilgrims who were with him. Nevertheless, he persisted. And on the way home, he had a revelation whereby he said that this was a manifest victory, it was not a defeat. That the Meccans had behaved with all the chauvinism and violence of Jahiliyyah, a word I'm going to talk about in a minute, the pre-Islamic period. And whereas the Muslims that had experienced the Sakina, the spirit of peace which had descended upon them, and it was this spirit of peace that linked them with the Jews and the Christians, the people of the book. It was the spirit of peace that characterizes the human attitude towards God. So and the historians, early historians of Islam, agree that this was indeed a victory. This was the turning point. 2 years later, Mecca opened its gates voluntarily to the Prophet. Nobody was forced to convert to Islam, and Muhammad had brought peace to war-torn, war-weary Arabia.
Al-Quran, chapter 22, verse 39 and 40. Permission to fight has been given to those who are being fought and were wronged. And indeed, Allah is able to give them victory. They are those who have been unjustly evicted from their homes, only because they say, "Our Lord is Allah." And were it not that Allah tests one set of people by means of another, there would have been demolished monasteries, churches, synagogues, and mosques, in which the name of Allah is much mentioned. And Allah will surely support those who support Him. Indeed, Allah is powerful and exalted in might.
Like, share, and subscribe to create awareness. We are also available on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and Paltalk.
Well, that's a very interesting video. Oh my god, I do not know why each time I watch Brigitte Gabriel talking, it was always at the wrong reasons. Like, I don't know, despite the fact that I'm actually a Christian, but that does not mean that when somebody do what is wrong, then I have to support the person because the person is a Christian. No, this is not what Christianity is all about. Christianity is all about what? Love. In fact, Jesus Christ make us to understand that what love is actually what? Supreme. And he says to us that not about, understand, you loving yourself. He says what? Love your neighbor as yourself. So now, when you look at it, you realize that Brigitte is just what, shall I say, you realize that Brigitte is just launching anti-hate speech against the Muslim. Like I always says in my videos, is that we cannot use opinion of minority or some few people who do something in the name of Muslim, then we generalize it on everyone. It's not like that. We don't have to do that. And that's why if you look at it, you listen to Karen Armstrong, you realize that Karen was just being unbiased. She was giving, you understand, her story based on how it is. We don't have to add salt or sugar to it. On something that you know it is not, then it is not. So I will expect Brigitte Gabriel to at least speak like Karen. If you look at it, Karen was just talking about what some of the things that Prophet Muhammad did. And just like I rightly say, you don't have to come up either as a Muslim. For instance, if you are a Muslim and you are doing things like this in the name of God, I'm sorry for you, because you have no Jannah. There's no Jannah in the sense for you. There's no paradise for you. You don't have to quote some little minority and use it to go and inflict violence in a sense on people and says that you are fighting for Allah. Prophet Muhammad did not do that. When the Quran was revealed to him, this is a message that was given to all mankind. This is a message that was given to all human. You believe with me that Prophet Muhammad, while he was alive, you realize that what he was fighting against, you understand, the idol worshippers, people who gave out idol in a sense for themselves and then worship you. Those are some of the things in a sense the Prophet in a sense was against it. And even in a sense, even in the Quran, make us to understand that what he even made treaty with the people of the book, which were the Christians. You see, they live in a sense peacefully, in a sense, with one another. You realize that the Prophet will not just went on killing in a sense people because he just feels has to kill, or violate treaty because you want to violate treaties. No, it was not like that. He showed us, in a sense, to be a father. He also showed us as a prophet that also teaches companions how to pray, how to perform salah, how to do many things. We saw him, in a sense, as a husband. If you understand to say that, you understand, Islam, you understand, permit him or God permit him to marry up to 4 or more than that, it was God's will. It was God who gave him, you understand, that opportunity to be able to do. And that's why the Quran makes us to understand that even at the judgment day, that he has, you understand, that privilege to be able to to intercede, and to intercede for his followers, or to, let's say, of his commandment, or people who believe in his word. This is something that it is God himself that gave to him, and not something that he himself, in a sense, put it upon himself and says that at the judgment day, I am going to intercede. No. So let's not get all these messages, in a sense, wrong about the prophet. Let's say it how it is. We may not believe, you understand, in the same religion, or we may not be of same religion because of the differences, you understand, in who God is. Because to them, they worship, you understand, God, and God is one. Same thing as the Christian. They believe in God, and God is one. The only difference is that Christians believe in the Trinity, which form, you understand, the basic of Christianity, which means that Jesus Christ manifests, you understand, in flesh as human. Right? And then Jesus Christ, while he was on earth, you understand, here is being seen, which means it was the God who manifests himself here on earth as the Son of God, as the man, right? And then before Jesus Christ, in a sense, he make us to understand that he is going to send us, in a sense, the helper, which is in the book of the John chapter 16, reading from verse 12 to 16. So now, people are of opinion that the person that Jesus Christ was referring to us as the comforter who will teach us all things is Prophet Muhammad. And the Muslim are of opinion that God did not begot a son. That is in John 3:16, that it says that for God so loved the world that he gave his begotten son. God did not have a wife, so God cannot have a son. So that is of Muslim, in a sense, belief. So when you says that God have begot a son, it means that you have blasphemed God, or you have reduced God. But the thing is, we are not reduced God. I wish that we can be able to understand all these things. We are saying that God incarnate himself, and that is why we are mentioning it like that. It's not that, you understand, here. But then I wish that everybody, let's focus on the similarities, what are the things that unite us, and then with teachings. With this kind of great opportunity we have, we should be able to explain to people, and if we explain to them, we must not force them to accept what they don't want to accept, even just like it's been stated in the Bible and also in the Quran, that there's no compulsory in religion. So it means that you can only convince them and make them to understand why what you are saying is true. But let's not force anyone, let's not hate people, let's try to show love, just like the way you used to see Muslims used to do. They give out, in a sense, charities and all those things by showing love. Let's keep on doing these things, and then let's not take law on our own hands, for God is so powerful. Just like the way we says what Bismillah, which means what? The most innocent, most merciful, most gracious, and most powerful God. God is powerful. He can do anything He wants to do for Himself. So guys, this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, you should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So guys, remain